All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. It is another episode of From the Pocket with your host, Jake, yours truly, and my co host over there, Christian.
That's
Christian,
me.
yeah, Christian, it's an exciting week for you. Tomorrow is the big 2-9 for you. You're turning 29, so happy early birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, do you got any plans tomorrow?
Um, not like crazy plans, but I've been meaning to go to the Fort Worth Zoo.
Nice.
Never been. I looked at the map, and the map it's bigger than what I imagined it would be. I think they have a cat, or I forgot what it was called, but I think they got lions and tigers. So I'm excited to see that. Also, gonna be watching this Thursday night game with my homies down there. So that's going to be fun. I expect a big Dallas win there.
You
We can
hope.
talk about we can talk about that later when we get to predictions. But yeah, just like some, just not too crazy. I'm a last minute planner, and so I don't do well with those things. So I want to do so like a party or something, but I'm too lazy.
I feel that. No, I mean it's your day. You kind of if you want to just kind of throw it together last minute, do whatever, kind of take it by the vibe, or do nothing. Like that's your call. It's your day.
Yeah,
So, yeah. Well, I hope it's a good day for you.
I
Glad we're
think it
getting
will.
this done
I'm
before
not
your
working
birthday.
these next 2 days,
Love it.
so
Love that.
I am chilling these next 2 days, and I'm so glad get a break from work.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah. Well, this episode is gonna probably be a little quicker than our previous ones because we spent an hour breaking
Yeah.
down the week 3 action, so we don't have too much to add there. I guess to just talk about the agenda, I did want to talk briefly about the Monday night games since they were ongoing as we were recording on Monday, and then we'll get to Christian's tier list. He'll break down the tiers, talk about the movements and the changes and the rankings he has of these teams. It's the vibe rankings, so it's all the vibes. He doesn't pick the teams. The vibes tell
Stuff
him what
that
teams.
what happens. I guess we can start off with what happened. The first game that kicked off, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Was never close. Buffalo led the entire game.
Thirty-four
Final
three at
score.
half.
Yeah. Josh Allen, I think, had most of all his touchdown. No, he had one. Oh no, it was a run. So yeah, he had like all his touchdowns in the first half. He threw 4 touchdowns. He ended up ending the game with 23 for 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers, which he has been doing a phenomenal job
Yeah.
these first few weeks. I know rough game in the beginning with the Cardinals having to come back. But after that, Thursday night against the Dolphins, didn't really have to do much. Tua was throwing interceptions. He didn't have to do much. And then this game, um, saw a little bit more pass happy for the Bills these from the first 2 weeks, uh, but yeah, I mean they're just keeping on rolling, and Josh Allen isn't turning the ball over, which that's been a concern of his. I mean they always do well in September,
Yeah.
obviously, but he's not turning the ball over, and right now he's leading in MVP in the odds to win the MVP right now over I want to say Patrick Mahomes. God, I saw the list earlier. I cannot remember. It's over Patty.
Lamar's, I'm sure, is on that
Lamar.
list. Um,
Lamar has it. The 0-2
yeah,
start.
0-2 start, but
Um,
yeah.
I think Aaron might be on there for
I'm sure
like,
Aaron. I'm sure Dak's
like
on there.
yeah,
Jalen might
that's
be on there.
so he's taking care of the ball, and they're winning, and he's spreading the ball out. He's not making those mistakes where he's forcing it into double coverage. So I mean, hats off to the Bills, man. It's awesome. It sucks as a Dolphins fan, but as a fan of the game, I mean, it's nice to see Josh Allen. If he can keep this up, could maybe finally win his MVP that we've been trying to give it to him for the past what, like 3-4 years now.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been since that his kind of third year in the league where he really kind of popped. I'm rooting for him to win the MVP. I do agree. I don't think anybody is I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't think he is the front runner for the MVP award right now. I mean,
I mean,
he's
yeah, he's leading.
head and
He's it.
shoulders leading it ahead of everybody. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's obviously going to win it. I do feel where you're coming from about the September thing. You know that we've seen them do this a bunch, but
It's different.
it feels different, and I think it feels different because we saw them do this last year. They changed offensive coordinators, got Joe Brady in there, and now you see a run game that is a real run game with James Cook. Now even when Stephon Diggs was there, the whole talk of Stephon Diggs not getting the ball, it's because he was spreading it out then too, and now it's like now he's really spreading it out. He's got Keon Coleman. He's got his two tight ends in Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. James Cook is a weapon outside. Shakir, Khalil Shakir is killing it too. So it's just, I think this is what you get when you have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Is no matter Josh Allen is of the ilk that no matter what you put around him, he's going to be good. And I'm glad we're seeing it. I'm rooting for him. I really loved what the Bills did this offseason. I think they really took some tough medicine that a lot of organizations in their situation just refuse to take. And that is, let's take a year back, let's step back, fix our salary cap situation, and make a run at this in another year or two. And again, we got a long season. They're about to play the Ravens in Baltimore this weekend.
It's gonna be a big, big test for them.
Yeah. And this is typically a spot where we've seen the Bills let us down, where everybody is super high on the Bills, and then they go in and they play a caliber team like the Ravens, and they lose. So, especially a desperate Ravens team at that. So, I'm really rooting for them. I hope they keep it up. Would not mind at all seeing the Bills make a Super Bowl run this year. Wouldn't mind Josh Allen winning an MVP. That sounds great. Love that for Bills fans. Vibes are really good in Buffalo right now, and
Vibes are excellent.
Not to spoil your tier list, I'll kind of give my thoughts just briefly. I understand the Chiefs are still probably the best team in the league, but if we're just talking about teams that have played the best football, like if
these first 3 weeks,
we did not have any context as to like what has happened in previous years, the Chiefs are back-to-back defending champs. The Bills would be the best team in the league right now. I mean, they've played the best football, head and shoulders. The only team that I think really even comes close to them is probably the Vikings. Yeah. And the Steelers are 3-0 too. The Chiefs are 3-0, but the Chiefs haven't looked great. Good for the Bills. I'll let you start on the Jaguars. I don't have too much to say about them.
I mean, it's not. I hate to put it all on one person, but I mean, at the same time, it does start with the quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence isn't playing well. I don't know what it is. He's now 0-8 in his last 8 games. It's really crazy because we threw out the or at least I don't really like to count his first year. That was, I don't know what that was. Yeah, like I don't know what that was. It was, speaking of Urban, it was funny. Rich Eisman. I saw a snippet of his podcast talking about this game, and it was funny. He was like, Jags fans, you can't hang your hat on much this season, but you can hang your hat on this, and it's your head coach flew back with the team. And I was just like, oh my god, that was a legit story that happened. So so I don't want to count his first year. I know it's it does come into account because he did play, but I don't like to count his first year. But coming in, what was it? It was his second year when Doug Peterson got there. They struggled in the beginning, but they started to find their footing, and they made the playoff. They didn't win the division, but they made the playoffs and got a huge comeback victory from the Chargers. Got their first playoff victory since Blake Bortles in that AFC Championship game.
Well, it was a championship run. The last playoff one was against the Steelers the week before that championship game against the Patriots.
You're right, because they didn't win that game. My bad. Yeah.
No,
so
2017.
2017. So that is. So yeah, I was like, yeah. So they haven't gotten their first win since 2017, their first playoff win, and they get their first win, and it's something to build on. And then the very next season, last season, we're
8-3.
8-3. Yeah, I was gonna say
Number
7.
one in the division for like
We're
an
number one in
hour.
the division,
In the
and
conference, I'm sorry, conference, not division. I guess in the division.
he got hurt, and he just fell apart. So I don't know what's going on there. I think I trust Doug Peterson. He has won a Super Bowl. So I don't know what's going on, man. He's not playing well whatsoever. Because I know their defense is bad. Like, yes, I get it. Their defense is bad, but Trevor Lawrence is not the solution right now because he's not lifting up his teammates. And it's like he has playmakers. Like, I know Evan Ingram didn't play in this game versus the Bills, but he has Christian Kirk, which is a solid option. Travis Etienne is a solid running back. Who else do they have? Like, they have players on. They got
Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk, Evan
Josh
Ingram,
Allen or whatever.
Josh Hines Allen.
Josh Allen.
Okay, Josh Allen Hines. I can't remember. I can't ever remember, but yeah.
Like, they got him.
Josh Hines Allen.
They got Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is a solid receiver.
He's solid for like a number 3. Yeah. I mean,
like they got solid players. So I don't know what's going on.
I have a couple thoughts on this. I hate to say it. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is as built coming out of the college. I don't think he is that good.
Is where that starts.
However,
we need to taper that generate. Like, we need to be a little more conservative with that generational, next QB.
Well, and I mean, I do think he's a good quarterback. I think he's just, for whatever reason, things are just off right now. I don't know what it is. Things are just off. But, like, I think, part of the blame has to just go to this defense. I mean, I understand only putting up 3 points in the first half. That's bad. You gave up 34 points on defense. Like, and, I mean, I was looking at their stats. So, rushing-wise, they're fine. They're kind of middle of the pack to upper middle of the pack. But passing defensively, I mean, they're bottom 4 in most yards given up. They are.
And that would explain why the Bills were passing it all over the place.
They're bottom 10 in touchdowns given up. They're one of only 5 teams in the NFL at this point without an interception on defense. And the passer rating they're giving up is also bottom 5. They're giving up a 107.1 passer rating against teams. So that's fit.
You're gonna lose a lot of games if you're allowing opposing QBs have a pass rating of 100.
Yeah, so I think that's part of it. I think the Trevor Lawrence factor is obviously an issue, but I also I am skeptical of Doug Peterson. And the reason I'm skeptical of Doug Peterson is because, like, I do like Doug Peterson. I have respect for Doug Peterson, and his Super Bowl run in Philadelphia was amazing. But outside of his Super Bowl run, he was going 9-7, making the wild card, won a division going 9-7, but the last 2 years he was there was a lot of drama, a lot of turmoil, and it ends in 2020 with them drafting Jalen Hurts, and they go 4-11, and he's kicked him and Carson Wentz are kicked out. Like, so I'm not saying Doug Peterson is doing that. I'm just saying if this is as bad as it looks, and now we have Doug Peterson yet 3 years into this tenure on a team where the quarterback seems broken and there's all this turmoil and there's all this, he's coming out and saying everything's on the table now, it does make me wonder if Doug Peterson just is somebody who's having a hard time keeping his locker rooms together. I don't know. So something to keep an eye on. But right now, I mean, it's bad. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Jaguars at the bottom of people's power rankings this week. I haven't actually been looking, but I mean, right now they're the worst team in the league, right? I mean, they're getting +7 against the Texans in Houston this week, and you should bet that all day long in any normal circumstance. I don't see how anybody can feel comfortable. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen against the Texans. Texans are coming off a bad loss. They're at home. They're going to be mad. Are we in route for another blowout? Like if they lose another one, they're 0-4.
That's
I mean,
0-4.
their season's, even if they lose close, like their season's over. So yeah, it's all bad for the Jags. Speaking of all bad, the Bengals also played on Monday night. Not all bad for them, but
not
it's
a
not
single
good.
punt in that game.
And they
No
still
one
lost
punted in
to a
that
rookie
game.
to a rookie quarterback. They lost.
That was at home too.
Another, at home primetime game.
But phenomenal game.
It was a great game.
I saw one guy. I think he works for ESPN that was trying to blame Joe Burrow. It's like, bro, Joe Burrow ain't the one that gave up the 38 goddamn points. Joe Burrow had a pretty clean game, 29 for 38, 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow ain't the one that gave up the 38 points and was letting Jaden Daniels throw bombs to Scary Terry, which I'm so glad I finally get to see Terry McLaurin get a good goddamn QB finally. Yes. It was so nice to see Terry McLaurin have 4 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Caught 2 phenomenal thrown balls by Jaden Daniels.
Dude, that last one that sealed the game.
I didn't even see that one.
I saw it live on the podcast, and I was like, holy.
I saw the one where he didn't score, but it was still like a 30, 40-yard bomb. Like, it was gorgeous.
Yeah. Honestly, I picked up
2 incompletions by Jaden Daniels. Just want to say that.
I was helping my dad draft fantasy teams because he's in like 6 leagues this year for some reason. And I was looking at who was available, and I was like, is Terry McLaurin a steal at this point in the draft? Like, if Jay Daniels it was like in the 7th round or 8th round or something.
Dude, yeah,
and I'm like,
that's a steal.
If Terry McLaurin is like he's
that's
we know he's
Terry,
good.
Baby.
He's got a quarterback though. Jaden Daniels is good. Jaden Daniels is a rookie. He's gonna lean on Terry McLaurin a lot. This is gonna be the best quarterback Terry McLaurin's ever had throwing to him. Like, I don't know how you don't pick Terry McLaurin up. And I'm like checking his age. I'm like, is he older than I thought? No, he's like 29. He's
29? Okay.
Yeah, let's go Terry McLaurin. And turned out to be right. I mean, he's tearing it up. So very excited for Terry McLaurin. Happy for Jaden Daniels. Happy for the Commanders. But for the Bengals, yeah, they're 2-1. They're tied for the division lead right now with the Eagles, which is kind of cool. I mean, I had them going 9-8 this year. I am super bullish.
You were much higher on them than I was, but I said I liked them. I think I had them going 7-10, I believe.
Yeah, and it's early. Like, Cliff Kingsbury is the offensive coordinator. We know what happens with Cliff as the season goes on.
I did not realize Cliff Kingsbury was still in the league. So, like, when I turn on this game, I'm like,
that Cliff?
I know that guy.
Well, and the other thing, too, that concerns me is the way Jaden Daniels is playing is not sustainable. If he keeps playing the way he is, and I'm knocking on wood, I hope it does not happen, he is not going to last the whole season. I mean, it's just the way he's playing, he is too small of a frame to be taking the punishment he is, running as much as he is. The offensive line needs to probably do a little better. Like, I am worried he won't last the whole season. So
12 carries. Yeah, you don't want to see your quarterback doing all that. But
yeah, so that's my only concern.
It's working.
It is working
right in their favor. So
as for the Bengals, dude,
0-3, man.
Dude, that's both our Super Bowl pick.
I
had them going to I had them with the number 1 seed with 4 losses this year. They're already
they're almost at their max.
They're now. Good news is their division has not been very impressive either. The Steelers are 3-0. Like, I'll give the Steelers credit, but
they struggle against the Browns. But I mean,
dude, if you lose to the Browns this year, you're embarrassed. You know who's lost to the Browns? The Jaguars. like that's so. They're not out of it. The Steelers have a really, really hard schedule coming up in the second half of the year, and the Ravens and Browns, they're only a game behind them. So, like, they're still in it. They
No, we
just
did say this was supposed to be their get right game with the Commanders. Now they're up against
the
they're going on
Panthers
the road against the Panthers.
on
Andy
a short
Dalton
week.
on a short week. So and the Panthers, maybe I think I could see the Panthers having a letdown here after having that amazing game they had against Vegas, but we'll see, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm really rooting on the Bengals. I want them to get it right. Like 0-2, it's like, yeah, the Bengals do that all the time, but now it's like, oh, they're
It's starting to get
0-3.
scary. You
Lost to
go
the
0-4.
Commanders, gave up
Yeah.
38 points. Oh, that's not right.
No,
So
definitely must win.
must. Oh
Definitely
yeah,
must
you
win.
fall to 0-4. I mean, I'll still say they're in it, but man, dude, it starts getting dicey. So anyway, that is, nice little not a quick segment, but at least we got to go a little deep on some games that we didn't get to talk about too much on Monday. So Christian, with that, we've buried week 3. We are moving on to week 4.
Done with it.
Done with it. I'll let you kick off the tiers, Christian. Let's do your vibe rankings, and I will show the audience what you're working with. Again, wish we could phase them in over time.
Yeah.
But maybe one day. Maybe we'll upgrade our budget at some point. So, Christian, without further ado, tell us about the tiers.
All right, bottom tier. Here we go. Next season,
Oh,
got 2 teams here. Got the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. No surprise here, I don't believe. Yeah, both teams 0-3 and kind of lost and not sure what direction we should go in at this point. Will Levis might be getting benched here soon, and I don't know. We might Mac Jones sighting, maybe.
man.
We'll see. I think he did play a little bit.
He did. He had a fumble, I think.
Yeah, so next season. All right, that's that one. Moving on up, we get to our next tier. We got the need to pick it up. We have the Bears and the Patriots there. I mean, Caleb Williams threw 50, had 50 passing attempts, threw for 300 yards, but I'm not impressed. You throw for 50, you got 50 attempts. I expect you to have 300 yards. Had 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions as well. So not very impressed. I think Jaden. It's funny because I think we were like, is C.J. Stroud going to have or is Caleb Williams going to have the C.J. Stroud kind of type of season? And we're kind of seeing that with Jaden Daniels instead.
Bo Nix has also been better than Caleb Williams.
Bo Nix.
And I'm not saying Caleb Williams better than Bo.
Yeah.
Bo Nix better than Caleb Williams, but
But
so
for
far,
right
the
now,
3 starters, Caleb Williams has been the worst of the 3 starters.
So yeah. So right here at the bottom, second to bottom tier, and then the Patriots. I mean, maybe I was a little. I had them in the feisty category last week. Weren't too high, but I felt like they could have, played a little. They could have played a little bit better against the Jets, but whatever.
When does Drake May come out? That's really the question.
Do you? I don't know, man. I don't know. You may want to keep him on the burner until you get a better team. So, because I think Drake May could be really good for him. But all right, moving on up to our third to last team, we got Baby's first win, and it's all the teams that got their first wins last week. So you got the Giants, the Carolina Panthers, and the Denver Broncos. All very good games. Malik Neighbors keeps showing us he's a stud. And as long as Daniel Jones is throwing to Malik Neighbors, he looks like a competent quarterback, it seems like. Andy Dalton decided it was time for him to ball out. All the defenses he played against during his prime in the AFC North, he was like, this Raiders teams ain't got shit on them. I was playing against Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Vontaze. No. Did he? No, Vontaze Burfict was on his team. Trey Palomalu, he was playing all against them boys. I'm like, this Raiders team ain't got Max Crosby. Okay, fine.
Max Crosby's pretty good, but
Max Crosby's pretty good, but that Steelers defense in those 2010s had talent all over, and the Ravens had talent all over. Max. All I have to worry about is Max Crosby. Okay. All right, and then the Denver Broncos getting their first win. Bo Nix looked very, very good. Didn't throw a passing touchdown, but didn't turn the ball over. had a little rushing touchdown, and they played very well, and they took care of business in Tampa Bay on the road. So you love to see that. Just above that one, we got don't lose to the goddamn Titans. Jake, want you to guess what team's in that one.
I'm gonna guess the Dolphins.
Yeah, Monday night. Don't lose to the goddamn Titans. Please, God, do not lose to the goddamn Titans. Mike McDaniels, please. You're already starting to catch a little heat. You're not getting fired unless like something bad starts happening.
Will Levis comes in and carves them up.
I don't think he might get fired.
I mean, he's not gonna get fired, but that seat's gonna get a
I mean,
little warmer.
it's starting to get hot. Like Dolphins, we're pretty upset. Like we talked about last week. I think we expected this to be happening later in the season, and right now it's going very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Looks like Tyler Huntley will get the start because
solid. Tyler Huntley's solid.
Skylar Thompson does not seem like he had any grip on the offense. So I'm playing like Tyler Huntley was in a playoff game and almost won the goddamn playoff game against the Steelers or the Bengals. Can't remember. He was in a very close playoff game a couple years ago.
Against the Bengals. Against
the Bengals. So I assume that should be an upgrade. I pray to God that's an upgrade. And please, again, do not lose to the goddamn Titans. All right. Next above them, I got the feisty category. These teams are feisty, but they ain't gonna win a lot, but they'll be in some games for the most part. I have the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the Browns. Yeah, I mean Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is coming back. I think I heard Nick Chubb is coming back, so that's gonna be fun.
He was sitting on my bench, ready to go.
So that's gonna be fun. Cardinals. Yeah, Kyler Murray will be a headache for a little bit, but you kind of figure the Cardinals out after a little bit, and then you just kind of flick them away. And then the Raiders, Raiders. Gardner Minshew. I don't know if Gardner Minshew is getting talked about getting benched or whatever. I don't know what's going on there, but I'll still consider the Raiders pretty feisty. I don't know. I like Antonio Pierce, but we'll see. Just above them, I got what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
What am I looking at here? And it's the Colts and the Bengals in here. Anthony Richardson's still inconsistent week to week, man. I mean, we see some wow plays every now and then, but then we see like those head scratchers, bro. Like, he was on the goal line, my dude. This one highlight I saw, he's on the goal line, and he's rolling out to his left. Nothing's open, and this man just floats it up and gets an interception in the end zone. It's like, bro, what are we doing here? No, I know Shane Steichen said, "Hey, throw that ball." Like, I know that wasn't like, what are we doing here? And then the Bengals 0-3. I still think they're pretty good. They got T. Higgins back. I think they will get this figured out. They got Joe Burrow leading the way. I think Zach Taylor has proven that he's a competent coach, but I know some people are starting to question him a bit. They need to figure out that defense. Obviously, this isn't the same defense we saw from years past, but I think they'll get it figured out because they have been that team that has been down and out, and people count them out, and they've proven people wrong. So they at least have that to fall back on and be like, hey guys, we need to look ourselves in the mirror, and we need to all step it up. So at least I have faith in the Bengals. I don't have too much faith in the Colts. All right, moving on up.
I haven't given up on the Colts, but Anthony Richardson is very much struggling. I don't know. I hear some people who know a lot more about film than I do. They're saying it's rough. Bad. Yeah, it's like
that one play. I was like, bro, what did you think was going to happen? Like man.
He's got obviously that talent, athleticism, playmaking ability, but it's bad. It's been bad.
And then the next tier above that, I got it took a dump on my heart. They usually took a dump on it. Just
The
didn't
NFC
care.
South, aka the NFC
It,
South.
it's just the NFC South. The Saints being disappointing. Couldn't even score 20. You couldn't even give me 20 points
40 points back to back games. At home next game against a bad Eagles defense.
at home.
Couldn't get
At
and
home.
they're on a short week, and you
Couldn't give me
couldn't
20.
give me 20 points.
20. Like, come on, bro. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Then the Buccaneers. I don't know what happened there. I didn't really watch that game against Denver, but yeah, that was a little strange. That was a little strange.
Baker got sacked a bunch.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
that
didn't
was
really
part of it.
didn't get a rhythm, all that stuff. So, yeah, I think the Bucks will pick it up in this next week, and then the Falcons. Falcons are pretty solid, but I didn't expect it. I picked the Chiefs to win. I didn't expect them to. I thought about it. I did. I really did. I considered it. But good defense. Just they they gotta get some wins. They gotta put some wins together. So not up there at top echelon, but I think they could. They're still in the hunt for this division. It's no one's really running away with it just yet, but still a solid team overall. I think. Um, this next team I got, this tier I named it. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Okay.
We don't negotiate with terrorists, Jake. I got them high. They're pretty high up here, but we do not negotiate with terrorists, Jake. And it's the New York Jets.
Damn.
Yeah, you beat the Patriots. Good job, good job. Aaron Rodgers played well. Good job, good job. All right. Let me see. I think you got the Broncos. Okay, okay. Get the Broncos at home. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Okay, but we don't negotiate. Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
do not
We do not.
negotiate.
We do not. I'll give them their props though. I'll give them their props. I picked the Patriots, so I'll give them their props. They handled a team that they are clearly better than, and they should handle a team that they are clearly better than in the Broncos. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, and then yeah, just above them, I got the. I'll stick by them. I'm gonna stick by them. We got the Ravens. Got their first win against the Cowboys. Almost blew it, like they do routinely, but
They
they held
simply
on.
do. Yeah.
They held on. They got a big test against the Bills here. See if they can get back to at least 500 at 2-2. Um, so we'll see about that. But I'm gonna stick by them. I still think they're. I, I had them going being the second team overall in their division, but I'll stick by them. But I'm scared. Dallas, Dallas. Yeah, they took a step back. They don't have a running game. Defense still can't stop the run. But I really need this defensive unit to step up. I like because the offense. I think we kind of expected this to take a step back. Like I knew, like CD Lamb getting signed and all that was going to be fine for them. But other than that, I think defenses were gonna be like, hey, we're not gonna let this happen again. We're not letting CD ruin us anymore. So I think it starts with their defense, and they got a good get right game against the Giants tomorrow on my birthday. So Cowboys do not disappoint me. It really sucks because it's a lose for them.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. You're not wrong.
And then the Chargers, Justin Herbert did get hurt in this game. They did lose, unfortunately, but not all bad for the Chargers. Are they playing the Chiefs this week?
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes. They usually play them tight. It's going to be interesting how they go about this. I know. Hold on, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Yes, I did it. Finally,
I'm
took me
happy
a minute.
for you.
It took me a minute. I know it's kind of hard to run on the Chiefs on the Spags defense, but he's gonna try, and I hope Justin Herbert's healthy because I think that will be much watched television. I think Tony CBS, so I think Tony Romo and Jim Nantz is gonna be on the call, so it should be a fun game. All right. Needed to move down just above this team. The Texans and the 49ers. 49ers, how did you lose that fucking game? How did you lose this game? How did you
Special
lose?
teams. Special teams. That's how they lost.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. And then the Texans just getting embarrassed on the road in Minnesota. Like, come on. Like, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud starting is looking like he have getting that sophomore slump.
Yeah, well, it's also, I think it really like they're gonna probably win this division.
Just
So
by
exactly, but it's gonna be by default. I'm not gonna say I'm down on that, but like I had them 9-8, 10-7. I still feel like they could be that, but the Colts do not look like the division champs. The Jaguars and Titans are two. I mean, you have them literally at the pitiful bottom of your list. So like, they're probably gonna win this division, but it might be by default.
All right, and then just the tier above them, I got the 3-0, but pumpkin mode. I'm waiting on it. I'm just waiting on it. I'm like one of these teams gonna fall off, and it's all the 3-0 teams. So well, not all of them, but
No, they're all 3-0. Oh,
well,
not all the 3. I got you.
not all the 3-0 teams.
My
But
bad.
I had the Vikings. Sam Darnold, he's playing very very well. 4 touchdowns against the Texans, but I don't know, like. At one point they gonna get a rude awakening. Steelers, Justin Fields, he's playing great. He didn't his stats weren't that great versus the who'd they play? Stats weren't that great in the game he played, but he had a few against the Chargers. He had a few plays that got called back due to penalties, so that could affected his stats there, but he's playing well for right now. They're winning games. TJ Watt's healthy, so they win most of their games when he's healthy. And Justin Fields isn't turning the ball over as he did, and he's running the ball. He's making the plays that he needs to. So it looks good for right now. But we'll see when, as the season progresses, how this continues. I thought Cam Newton brought up a very good point about Russell Wilson on his podcast, where like I've never seen an injured player dress up on the sideline,
Especially when it's that injury. Like,
yeah, like a calf injury, like especially to a player like Russ who kind of needs his legs.
Christian McCaffrey's flying to Germany to try to figure out his injury, and Russell Wilson's out here dressed up, ready to go, like
fully dressed, like yeah. So
sus.
it feels like it's a short leash, but he's playing well, so he's getting that grace. And then the Seahawks, they were playing well the first 2 weeks, and then I really wasn't impressed. Like they just kind of won that game against Miami. I mean, they scored that late touchdown to make it look a little extra, like more of a blowout. But it was 17-3 for much of that game. And at one point, Tim Boyle was driving on that defense.
Yeah.
But I like Seattle. I had them being a wild card team, and they're playing very well. So I can't. No shade here. Even though Geno Smith has 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but hey, they playing well.
I mean, again, like your difficulty of schedule is you beat the Broncos at home in Bo Nix's first game, you beat the Patriots in overtime, and you beat a Dolphins team that had no quarterback. Like, I mean, it's I don't want to take anything away. 3-0 is 3-0. I'd love it if my team was 3-0 right now, but like, the Vikings have beaten the Texans and the 49ers,
yeah,
and they thumped the Giants. Like, they blew them out. Like, that wasn't a close game. The Steelers, I mean, they beat the
Falcons week 1.
They beat the Falcons week 1, which I don't think it was that quality of a win because I think the Falcons were still figuring out their stuff. But when we get to the end of the season, the Falcons could be a decent team. They beat the Broncos, which, same team the Seahawks beat. And then they just beat the Chargers. Justin Herbert was iffy in that game. But nevertheless, like, of these 3 teams, of the undefeated teams, the Seahawks by far have the least impressive resume.
Yeah, and 3-0, but pumpkin mode is I'm on watch. I'm on watch
For
there.
sure.
And then, all right, doing well despite the circumstances is the next tier. All these teams are doing well despite the circumstances. Green Bay, Malik Willis out here balling. Yeah, out here balling. Matt LaFleur out here making him look like a confident quarterback. Eagles, despite Jalen Hurts' turnovers, they're 2-1. Rams, despite their injuries, they shouldn't be, but they're 2-1 right now. They shouldn't be. They should be lower on this tier, but they got the win. So, hey, it is what it is. Lions, Jared Goff hasn't. I mean, I think overall this team hasn't lived up to the expectations they have. I would imagine Dan Campbell has even spoke about that in press conferences. So I don't think the Lion the Lions organization like feels like they're one of the top teams in the NFC, but they're doing well. They're 2-1 despite all of it. So, and then obviously the Commanders, despite their rookie quarterback, like new head coach. I know it's Dan Quinn, but it's still a new head coach. I think new GM and new owner as well. Like they're doing well right now. So
good vibes. I mean, again, like even if they go 7-10, 8-9 this year, but Jaden Daniels is like rookie of the year caliber player. You know, their defense does a little better. Like they're going to have the opportunity to go into the offseason and load up on defense. Dan Campbell's obviously a great defensive mind. We saw what he did in Dallas for years and in Seattle long ago. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you get the ownership willing to do his stuff. You get a coach in Dan Campbell who knows what he's doing, and you get a quarterback in Jane Daniels that could be a star. Your trajectory is going to be great, even if you're not winning games that rookie year. So
yeah, we saw with the Bengals when they drafted Joe Burrow.
We saw with the Bears when they thought they had something to Justin Fields. Like they just kept losing games, and everybody's like, "Who cares? Justin Fields is your future." And, which it turned out to be, that didn't happen, but nevertheless, the vibes.
All right, and then just above them, I got 1B, and it's the Buffalo Bills. I don't feel comfortable putting them up there with who you everyone knows is the top number one team. Again, I've been saying it all these past 3 weeks. If you don't have the Chiefs number one in their rankings, do not listen to that. Do not listen to that ranking. It doesn't make sense. It's pure just nonsense. But the Bills are playing well. They're 3-0. They did have that comeback win against the Cardinals, but I think that second half, the Cardinals were scoreless. They fought all the way back. They get some hand claps for that. And then they bullied the Dolphins as they usually do on Thursday night on a short week on the road. And then they come out and they bully the Jags, like these teams that they are clearly better than. And Josh Allen playing like a MVP, no turnovers, which has been his biggest downfall. And they're 3-0 right now. And like we said, they do have a tough game against Buffalo. We'll see how they match up there. But I mean, they're doing well. They're doing well, and I put money on them that they'll win. They'll win against Baltimore. I think they're playing that well. And then like I said, Chiefs number one, not like us. They're not playing well. Patrick Mahomes even said that he's not playing well, but they just find a way to win at the end of games. It doesn't matter. What is Patrick Mahomes' record now when he's down at least a possession? It's still
it's
insane.
Down 10 points, he wins 60+% of the time or something like that.
It's still insane, and they find a way to win even without Hollywood Brown probably not playing a snap for them this season. They're still Travis Kelce isn't the guy who he isn't the same player that we've known him to be, but I think he will show up. He'll sprinkle some Travis Kelce magic here and there throughout the season, but they're not playing well. But they have the best quarterback. They have the best head coach in the league right now, and their defense is still elite.
And probably best defensive coordinator, if not.
And probably the best defensive coordinator. Spags has been phenomenal. So, that's it.
I I like a lot of it. I will have one tiny amendment. This is just me, and I could be wrong, but I would put the Cardinals a little higher. I do like the Cardinals. I think me. I wouldn't put the Washington Commanders that high. I like them, but
not punting in 2 games.
I gotta see a little more.
That's
more.
fair.
It's a rookie. Like, there's gonna be ups and downs. Their defense is bad, and the Eagles, I just don't think should be that high either. Like, I think if they played, they'd probably beat the Seahawks. But I think if they played the Vikings or the Steelers, they would get beat by those teams. If they played the Niners or the Texans, I think they'd get beat by those. If they played the Ravens, I think they would.
I think Saquon is carrying.
Saquon is carrying.
I think Saquon is carrying most of what.
100%. Saquon is carrying that team. And as for the Bills, like, I understand you're kind of like, I wouldn't say you put them above the Chiefs, but I do think there is room to say, like, at this point in time, they are playing better than the Chiefs. But again, I understand, because you don't want to be the first person that's like, you know what, I'm gonna say it, Bills above Chiefs, and then you look stupid at the end of every year, because that's just what inevitably happens. The Chiefs, like, they're not playing well, but it's the only way you beat the Chiefs is by blowing them out. Because if you get to the end of the game and it's close, you're going to lose that game. They're situationally just too savvy.
Well, I think
too clutch.
Also, teams also kind of play into it a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fear, I think. That
like, the Falcons going for, like, no, bro, kick the field goal. Like, if the Chiefs are settling for field goals, you should settle for field goals.
Yeah, people be trying to do too. It's the same thing that cost the Ravens in the championship. It's just they're trying to do too much. It's like, just get to what got you here. And it's like, well, we can't afford to do that because that team over there is crazy. And it's like, well, you lost because you let that team be crazy and you didn't have a punch back for them. So I digress. I think the list overall is very good, though.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's get to Jake's bets.
All right. Here we go.
First winning week,
our first winning week. Yeah, we
go.
Talked about a lot of it. Really quick to just kind of talk about the ones that we hit. We had the Vikings +2, nailed it. No, never a doubt. We had the Rams +7, another one outright, no doubt. We had the Giants +6.5 against the Browns. They won that one outright, never a doubt. The two we missed, Saints -2.5. I said it on Monday. Bad bet. Should not have done it. All the trends told me not to. I said, I don't care. I know more than the trends. I didn't. I should have just – you either bet the Eagles in that spot or you stay away from the game. I should have stayed away from the game because I had no faith in the Eagles. And watching that game, I feel like I was right to have no faith in them. They were not good in that game. And then I'm upset because this should have been a 4-1 week because I had the Broncos +6 in initially – in our Wednesday podcast, and I took them out on Friday and put the Jaguars in. Horrible all around. So could have been 4-1 if I just stuck with my original gut. Didn't happen, so I'm 3-2. But that's okay. Again, first winning week, 6-9 on the season. We have a 4-1 week right here. We're back to 10-10 through the first 4 weeks. So feel pretty good.
I went 2-0.
You're 3-0 on the season. So vibes are good.
With 2 pushes.
Really quick, I do want to talk about the Cowboys-Giants game. It's not going in the 5.
But
you should bet the Cowboys.
I think that's a pretty easy layup. Like, I know the Cowboys are struggling, and people want to be like, "Oh, do the Giants have a chance?" They don't.
They don't. And I understand if, like, you just look at the number, you're like, I just don't want to bet a division home. It's a division team that's a favorite on the road on a short week minus a touchdown too much. I get it. Earlier in the week when it was like -4 is probably when you should have taken it. I would still bet the Cowboys. Again, not going in the 5. That's just I think people are just forgetting what the dynamic between these two teams has been. So anyway, let's get to Sunday. I got 5 games on Sunday, not doing either of the Monday night games.
Oh yeah, we're getting another double Monday night.
Yeah, so really quick, I talked about 2 on Monday that were locks, and they're still locks, so I'll go over those really quick. Bucks +2 against the Eagles. It's not an Eagles hate pick like last week. It is a savvy pick. It's just the side. It's the side you take. Bucks at home, getting points. They're coming off a bad loss. Eagles.
They beaten this team.
They beat this team the last time they played. The Eagles coming off. This is going to be their second straight road game. They're coming off a crazy win. So they're also dealing with a ton of injuries. This is a great spot to take the Buccaneers in a bounce back spot and an Eagles letdown spot. Again, just the points at home by itself is a good reason to take the Bucs. So I really like the Bucs in this spot. Again, not an anti-Eagles pick. It's just the right spot. The other one I locked away was the Chargers. Plus, it's fluctuated a lot. +7. It was up to 8.5 at one point.
Is it due to like
I think a lot of people are just betting it like crazy.
7.5.
Yeah, it's 7.5 right now. I still like the Chargers +7.5. If it gets below the 7, I might switch it out. I'll lock these in on Friday. So if we get to Friday and it's like +6.5. Might switch it out with another one. But I like anything more than a touchdown. I love it. I just think this is going to be a gross, low-scoring game. The Chargers are at home.
Play them close most of the time.
They're a home dog getting more than a touchdown. The Chiefs, this is back-to-back road games for them. They have not looked great. They haven't been able to put teams away by big margins. The Chiefs in the Patrick Mahomes era never cover big spreads anyway. So, anytime you get Mahomes by a touchdown, you should bet the other team just because they almost never cover that. And then the Chargers very well could have a backup quarterback in Taylor Heineke playing. Taylor Heineke's got a lot of reps. He's got a lot of games, but also bet the backup quarterbacks in their first starts. That's the trend. The trend tells you should do that. So a lot of reasons to back the Chargers. So I like both the Chargers and the Bucs there. All right, we got 3 more. Now, I got to say this. I feel great about every one of these picks. Okay. I feel great about them, and some of them are nasty. So we're going to start with a nasty one just to space it out because the last one's the nastiest. It's gross. Smells. First nasty one, we got the Colts +1.5 against the Steelers. Yeah, it's gross. It's gross.
God damn it, Jake.
It's nasty.
Oh, no, he's a favorite. Okay, I thought it was Mike Tomlin underdog. Okay.
Mike Tomlin on the road is a favorite. You typically fade that. At some point, the Steelers are going to pull back. And
you think it's going to be this week?
I think the Colts match up well against them. I think they figured out we need to run the ball. The Steelers have great edge. We'll see if the Steelers can consistently stop this Colts running attack with Jonathan Taylor. It's just a good spot for the Colts. I liked it, and then all the pros I listened to loved it. I think there was only one pro I listened to that was like, well, I'm going to take the Steelers, and every other one was like, you have to take the Colts. One of them went as far as to say, if you're betting the Steelers here, you're an idiot. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I liked the Colts. Y'all are all backing me up. I love it. This is one of the 2 that all the pros are in agreement on. The other one is the Bears -2.5, -3, which I'm not taking that. I just do not. I tried so hard to listen to them and convince me, and I'm just like, but there's a good chance I'm going to get to Sunday and be like, why did I take the Bears? When the Rams are up by 10 points? Why did I take the Bears? So they could be right, and if they're right, I'll go, hey, great call by you. I'm not involved in that one. But I am involved in this Colts +1.5. I like that one. So that one. All right. This one pretty chalky, pretty clean, but I love it. Cardinals -3 against the Commanders.
Ooh,
-3 against the Commanders. I love this one. Cardinals are at home. Commanders, that same theme we talk about. Back-to-back road games. And on a short week. Played the Bengals on the road, and now they're on a short week cross-country to Arizona, coming off an insane win in primetime Monday Night Football.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Rookie quarterback. Austin Eckler's going to be out. This is for a veteran team. That's really hard to get up the next week and be like, yeah, let's go. This is a giant letdown spot for a young Commanders team going on the road on a short week against the Cardinals team that I think is A, better than the Commanders, and B, is coming off not a tough loss but a loss nonetheless to the Lions. So I really like the Cardinals in this spot. I think the Cardinals will cover. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything. I don't predict blowouts, but I do think the Cardinals will win this game by more than a field goal. I like this here. And at 3.5, it gets a little dicey. I still probably like it at 3.5, but definitely at 3. I feel like the worst case scenario I get with a -3 is a push. So, and if the Commanders come in and beat the Cardinals, they will be defying they will be defying all of the trends, all of the data. So it could happen if I lose it. I feel this is one of those again. If I lose it, I can live with it because I feel like I'm on the right side betting wise. And then the nastiest one of all. The grossest one. This is the grossest bet I've made all year. Do you want to guess it?
United Monday night games. All Sunday. Vikings Packers?
No. That's a good one though. A lot of people are on the Vikings Packers. I want to that game and the Saints Falcons game. I wanted to bet. I really wanted to have it in here in some capacity. I just cannot pick a side in either of them. I just have no idea. There's so much noise, so many trends that back both sides. I'm just like I can't do it. I have no idea what's going to happen in those games. So it's not either of those games. It is. We're going to Las Vegas, where the Browns are playing the Raiders.
Okay. I did consider that.
Browns are getting 2 points. Give me the
Vegas.
Raiders -2.
Oh, okay, you're taking that. Okay.
Give me the Raiders -2. Yeah,
-2.
Yeah, it's gross. It was one of those where I didn't even think about it. It was not even on my radar. I didn't even think about it, and I heard one of the podcasts I listened to talk about it, and it literally was like just a light bulb where they're like, "Yeah, I think you take the Raiders here," and I was like, "Well, yeah, of course you take the Raiders here. They're coming off a bad loss at home. The Browns are Browns are coming off a bad loss. No, the Browns are a bad team. There's a difference. The Browns have no functioning offense. Their injuries just keep getting worse and worse. Their offensive line is in shambles. Myles Garrett saying he needs surgery on his foot, but he's going to tough it out.
I didn't hear about all this.
Dude, their injuries are getting bad. And the Raiders, I know they're coming off a bad loss, and everybody's the one concern with this is, Antonio Pierce coming out kind of calling everybody out. But I think my guess and my theory is that's going to actually go well. Because I think Antonio Pierce got a lot of street cred. I mean, he was a really good defender back in his day, and he won a Super Bowl. As one of the premier defenders on a New York Giants team that beat the undefeated Patriots. Antonio Pierce has a lot of street cred. So I feel like when Antonio Pierce comes out and is calling you out, players don't go, who's this guy? They go, all right, I'm getting called out. I got to step it up. I got to get better. So I expect the Raiders to give a good performance, to come out, want to rebound against the Browns after a bad loss last week. And I just think they're better than the Browns. I mean, this should be a +3 line to me. It was -1. It's -2 now, so I guess people are coming in on the Raiders. I just don't see how the Browns beat the Raiders here. That's basically what I'm doing here. It's not even a trend bet. It's not there's some trend. It's really just, are the Browns really going to beat the Raiders? I just don't see it. I see Max Crosby and that defensive line just having a day, making Deshaun Watson just continue to hate himself, as I hope he does, and this offense doing just enough to win I don't know, a 20-17 game, a 20-13 game or something. I just really if it gets to +3, I might reconsider, but right now I just love the Raiders -2. So those are my 5. So recap: Bucks +2, Cardinals -3. Raiders -2, Chargers +7.5, and Colts +1.5. And again, penciled in, but I'm pretty sure this is going to stay. The only reason I would change it is if a line moves in a way by Friday that I don't like. So lock in the lines on Friday. We'll see where we're at. And yeah, I feel really good about this. I really do feel like there's a good chance I go 5-0 this week with this. So yeah, I feel great. So Christian, Give us your best bet. You're going 4-0. You're on a streak. You're on a hot streak.
I don't know. I'm putting it in jeopardy this week.
Always, every week you're putting it in jeopardy. That's the fun. That's the fun part about it.
Bills plus 2.5.
Damn. Yeah. All right. Bills plus 2.5.
I like I like the Bills. They've been playing better than what I have been seeing from the Ravens. Now the Ravens have had the tougher schedule. Playing the Chiefs week 1, playing the Cowboys, which I mean, is still a good team.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Kevin Wiles doesn't think so.
They're a good team. Like, I'm sorry, we both had 9-8, 10-7 written on this. We both saw through it all. Like, this team got worse. They're not winning 12 games. It's gonna be a struggle, and it's not gonna be look pretty week to week. But they'll still be a decent team in the NFC. But yeah, I mean the Bills are playing very very well. I do wonder if they're gonna be complacent or not come out complacent, but like all right, this team's been struggling. We've been kind of been rolling, so they might be resting on their laurels a little bit. But I think they might be ready. This is a big game. This is the biggest game so far. Baltimore has been more road tested, so we'll see about that. But I've just been liking what Josh Allen is doing. He's spreading the ball around. You know, he's not like, oh, I gotta get it to Stephon Diggs and all of that. He's spreading the ball around. They're getting their running game going. So I think Joe Brady's gonna have a good game plan going into Baltimore, and I think they'll execute it. I mean, I do like John as well, but they are no blow leads, so it's going to be an interesting matchup, and I can't wait to watch this one. This Sunday night game is I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake. Bills.
Yeah, Baltimore going 1-3.
Bills can really solidify themselves as they're that team.
Dude, and if the Chiefs somehow lose if the Chargers get the win, and the Bills get out, like they're number 1 right now. They'd be number 1.
And if you're correct, Bills win. If I'm correct, so that means Ravens lose, Browns lose. I have the Steelers losing. The Bengals, they could be the only. There's a chance they're the only team in the division this week that gets a win. Steelers dropped to 3-1. Browns and Ravens dropped to 1-3. Bengals at 1-3. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, we got life now. Now we're 2 games behind the Steelers, and we played the Steelers twice still. So, really interesting there. So, all right. Well, Christian, we've done it. We've talked about your tiers. We've talked about the bets. We've buried week 3. It's time to get into week 4. So, Christian,
let's pick them.
Let's start with the Thursday night game. The Cowboys traveling to the Giants. Cowboys and Giants both 1-2. The Cowboys have won. I don't even remember how many matchups they've won in a row, but it's been. I think that they haven't lost since 2020 against this team. The last time they played them, they blew them out. Last time they played them in New York, it was 7 straight. There you go.
They're looking for their 7th, so they beat them 6 times in a row. I'm not gonna surprise you here. I'm gonna go Dallas. I think, they need this team. It's a must-win for Dallas. Giants are just, if they win, they'd be like, they're just trying to have it. The Giants are playing for just to not be blown out. That's what they're playing. Like, they're playing to win, obviously. And Giants and Giants fans would love it if they could, beat the Cowboys. But the Giants are just hoping, they don't get blown out. And the Cowboys are like, hey, this kind of not save our season, but we just kind of need something to a palate cleanser, if you may. So I expect Cowboys to roll pretty well. I am excited to see Malik Neighbors, so I'm hoping he gets to make some plays on your defense a little bit, but not too many, but I have some plays. So, but I'm expecting the Cowboys at least 2 possessions, so at least 10 points.
I feel that. I think the thing about the Cowboys that's unique, maybe not unique, but I feel like it's more so than other teams, maybe just the culture they have. Those players listen to the media. Like, you can tell they do. Just the things they say. And they are talked about more than basically any other team in the sport. So I guess it's hard to escape it, I imagine. They lose to the Saints, and it's like people weren't really talking about the Cowboys. It was more like, holy moly, did you see what the Saints did? Wow, Saints are really good. 2 straight 40-point games. Like, are the Saints for real? Like, it wasn't really about the Cowboys. This week has been about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's been, this defense is bad. Look at all these stats. They can't run the ball. Dak Prescott needs to step it up. CeeDee Lamb needs to step it up. What's Micah doing? Like, I think that is really going. I think you're going to see a very, very, very motivated Cowboys team.
They better.
And yeah, they need to be. Like, I think this is a game they look at and go, well, we got to beat the Giants. Like, we got to get back to 2-2, stop the bleeding. We got Pittsburgh after this on extended rest. We got to go on the road and play them. Let's reassess and let's try to get away. I mean, this is a big game. If they lose this game, your season is spiraling. I mean, it's spiraling at that point. So
and it's a lose-lose because you lose this game. It's like you said, it's spiraling. You win this game, nobody's going to be like, oh my God, you beat the Giants. Everybody's going to be like, yeah, you beat the Giants. You always beat the Giants.
I feel that, but I also feel like for the Cowboys' just psyche as a team, like, this is a great chance to get back on track. And even if the media is not giving you flowers for it, as a team, you're like, okay, we're still that team. We're still the team that can do that and blow a team out and wreck shop and wreak havoc. So I think the Cowboys need this. I think they will get it. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout. I hope it is. But they just need to win it. As far as I'm concerned, maybe this is the one example where they could win narrowly and it'd be like, man, we barely beat the Giants. What's wrong with us? So, all right. Anyway, we moved to Sunday. We got the Saints going to the Falcons. Very intriguing matchup.
This really is, yeah. Very.
Christian. Who you got?
I don't know, man. Falcons.
I am also leaning Falcons.
I'm going to go Falcons.
I'm also leaning Falcons. I don't know.
I'm locking in Falcons. I'm locking it in.
I'm going to go Saints.
Bet.
I'm going to go Saints. If the Saints win this game, holy moly. On the road and against the Falcons, they're 3-1. Drop the Falcons to 1-3. Like, this could be a pivotal game in this division very early in the season. So, all right. How about the Bengals and the Falcons and the Panthers?
Ooh. Bengals, I mean, we've been saying this should be a get-right game, but man, hey, this should be. I know Andy Dalton's starting, but I'm just gonna believe in Joe Burrow one more time. One more time.
Hit him with it one more time,
please. I'll probably believe in him more throughout the season, but they're desperate. Like, the Panthers are just trying to play spoiler. But the Bengals need this win. They cannot fall to 0-4.
I agree.
It's they can maybe still climb out of it, being 0-4, but that's a road you do not want to go down, my friend. So you better get right.
It's getting dicey. You get to 0-4 in the AFC. I mean, you fall to 0-4. Your only chance of making the playoffs is to win your division at that point, which, again, is possible because this division is just going to be a brutal one for all 4 teams by the time we get to the end of the season. But I'll go Bengals. I just think they're the better team. Panthers coming off a great win. I don't think the Panthers are that good. I do think they're better than – again, I had them going 7-10, 8-9. I feel like they're right around that spot. I think the Bengals just super desperate. Even on a short week on the road, I think they get it done. So, all right. How about Rams traveling to the Bears?
I almost picked this game for my bet. I'm going to go Rams. Matt Stafford or Caleb Williams and Sean McVay versus Matt Eberflus. Like, I know they have their injuries and all that, but I think the Rams are just the better team.
See, this shows what a coward I am. I'm going to go the Bears.
The Bears.
The Rams coming off a crazy win. They're still injured to shit. They're going on the road now. The Bears looking for rebound. I don't think Caleb Williams is going to have an amazing game, but I do think at some point Caleb will start picking it up. And I just really like this Bears defense to cause issues for the Rams.
It's gonna be tough sledding.
Won't bet it. Won't tell you to bet it, but I will with nothing at stake.
I will say
pick
the
Bears.
The thing that kept me away was I'm like that Bears defense. It could be tough. So because I almost put the Bears +3, or was it? Yeah, Bears +3, but I didn't.
All right. How about you tell me your pick for the Packers Vikings? Vikings traveling to Lambeau.
Oof, dude, I don't know. This is a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I don't know. Is this the Jordan Love game?
This is not the Jordan. Well, Jordan Love is. They keep teasing. He's like, oh, he's going. Who knows? He got cleared, but I don't know if they're gonna play him. I don't know if they'll play him.
Vikings. Because the Packers defense isn't that good.
It's decent.
It's decent. I like Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson been balling? I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Vikings. I'm gonna stick with him, even though Matt LaFleur, I'm your boy, but I don't know. So I guess I'm picking the Vikings to be 4-0.
I'm picking the Packers. I just at some point, man. I know it's gonna be like they're gonna be like 8-0 and they're gonna lose a game, and I'm like, oh, see, we knew it was gonna happen to some like. Maybe the Vikings are just this good.
Actually, Packers. I'm switching Packers. Sorry, I didn't feel comfortable with that. I was like, I'm going to switch back. I've been struggling these in my picks. We haven't been going over it. I haven't. We need to do our record or whatever. But I've been struggling.
I have to. Well, I got a winning.
You
week.
Always struggle, but
I got a winning week this week. I went 9-7, but the first 2 weeks.
Shit out of me.
The first 2 weeks I went 6-10 and 5-11, so it was brutal. I am going Packers.
I'm gonna go Packers as well.
All right, how about you give me your pick for the Colts and the Steelers?
Steelers.
Going Colts.
Okay.
Texans, Jags.
Texans.
I am also going Texans. Jets Broncos. This one's awesome. This is such an interesting game. You know, Nat Hackett going to get his revenge against the team that came.
Yeah, and
Aaron Rodgers and all the trash talk from last year.
What's his name? Sean Payton calling it the worst coaching job of whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jets. I think Robert Saleh's cooking up a good game plan for Bo Nix. I think Aaron will play his game. He's going to throw the ball to Breece Hall and Alan Lazard and Garrett Wilson only. But I'll say they got some extended rest. I think that'll help. You know, Aaron is up there in age, but I'm going to go Jets here. They are at home, so they're 2-1, so they might. I don't know. We'll see. But I got the Jets.
Yeah, I'm also going the Jets. I just
Jets. Jets.
Bo Nix off a great win, and you said this is in New York, right?
Yeah, this is.
So this is again back-to-back road games for the Broncos, with a rookie quarterback coming off a great win.
Is it MetLife? This isn't. Yeah, they share stadium. That's funny. So they're playing Thursday, and then the Jets get them on Sunday. That's funny.
I wonder how often that happens where you have both the Giants and the Jets play at MetLife in the same week. I bet it only happens like once, maybe once a season, if that even. That's pretty funny. No, I and on top of just thinking that the Broncos are probably going to pull back, Jets are on extended rest. Jets are an older team, so I think that win against the Patriots, it's not the same letdown spot as for a young Broncos team. And I'm not picking Bo Nix to go in there and carve up that Jets defense. I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
That's not going to happen.
Like Sauce Gardner,
Quincy Williams,
Quincy Williams.
I'm not picking that. So I think you'll get a motivated Aaron Rodgers. I think they will win just because they're the better team.
Yeah, exactly.
My question is, do you think, maybe not immediately after the game, maybe not the Sunday, maybe not the Monday, maybe Tuesday on Pat McAfee's show, do you think Aaron Rodgers will make a snide comment about that beef from last year?
Oh, of course.
All right. So
Of
we're on the
course.
same
He
page.
already
I think he will
he
too.
already got one cooking. Like he's been cooking it up.
He's ready. He's been practicing in the mirror.
Yeah, like he's already been cooking it up.
All right.
What?
Yeah, no, I feel. All right,
He
how
might
about
be even in there in the press conference after the game? Like,
how about Eagles traveling to the Bucks?
that's good.
That
We
is
had
a
some
good
good match. We had some good games. I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
I'm also going Bucks.
I just don't trust this Eagles team.
No.
Jalen Hurts has turned the ball over too much. It's kind of feeling like last year. Like it's a little messy.
Yeah, I don't trust them either. I do think that they could they
I
very
think they
well
could
could
win.
win this game.
Yeah, like I don't think they're out of it. I don't think the Bucks are gonna blow them out.
Well, and the Bucks have a lot of injuries in their secondary. Vita Vea is out. So
Saquon is going to be a problem. It's going to be interesting how they deal with Saquon.
Saquon's a problem. He's been really good. So I think the Bucks will win, but this is going to be a close game. The Eagles aren't going to get their ass kicked. Like we're not there yet in the season for that. So I'll go Bucks, but it'll be a close game. How about Cardinals and Commanders? I kind of spoiled where I'm going with this one. I'm going Cardinals. At home against a Commanders team, short week, back-to-back road games, rookie quarterback, young team on a high, just got to come crashing down to earth. I like the Cardinals here.
I love how the total was 50.5. I do think this is going to be like a high-scoring game because both of these defenses.
That's a high. That is a lot. That's a high.
15.5 points, yeah, total. That's a lot of points. I don't think both of these defenses are well. So I'm gonna go with Cardinals just for the more veteran experience with Kyler compared to Jaden. And like the no punting thing, like that's all nice and stuff, but that's not gonna last.
Fair.
Like that's
All right, this one 49ers Patriots.
49ers.
Biggest spread we've had all year long, by the way, 10.5 points.
That's a lot of points. I don't know if 49ers going to cover that, but that's this is they lost the game they shouldn't to the Rams. So then the Patriots, I know they're on an extended rest, but they're not. You shouldn't be scared of them. You're at home. Like you should be able to beat this team with your eyes closed. Come on now.
I will pick the 49ers. If I will say this is kind of that sixth game in my betting cycle. So if I do take out a game,
this is the one you
putting in Patriots. Niners plus 10 or Patriots plus 10.5.
Patriots plus 10.
Dude, you can't be betting minus 10.5 point home favorites. Like that's bad. So I'll go Niners, but keep an eye out for that.
You expecting the Patriots to cover though?
Dude, they should. 10.5 point underdogs cover a lot. That's massive. It's hard to beat a team. I mean, basically, if the Patriots come out with a scripted first series and score, you've covered your bet. Like the Niners have to outscore them 17 points from that point on. So it's just very hard to cover a 10.5 point spread in the NFL. So it happens, but not as often as
you don't want to be betting on when it does.
I took the Cowboys last year minus 14 or something against the Giants. Like I was just like, I don't care what the spread is. Like they're gonna blow out this team, and they did. Like I covered it. So it's funny. Anyway, Raiders, Browns. I'll go Raiders. I've already spoiled that with my bet. So Raiders.
I'll go Browns.
Bet.
No conviction there. I don't have a reason. Looks like I think Nick Chubb's not gonna be back until like October. So,
good thing is that's in a week.
It is in a week.
How about Chiefs, Chargers?
I gotta go Chiefs. I gotta go Chiefs. Like they're not gonna win every game. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose at some point.
They're not
But
gonna lose to Taylor Heineke.
it's if Taylor Heineke is playing, then yeah, that does not give me very
I
good.
mean, even a hobbled Justin Herbert doesn't give me a lot of
Yeah,
faith. So,
true.
how about? Oh, you already spoiled this one. Bills,
Yeah,
Ravens.
yeah. Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Looks like it's not gonna be great weather in Baltimore there, but yeah, I'm gonna go Bills. Um, this is on pure faith of that they're gonna they're gonna continue that. I think Joe Brady's gonna have a good game plan. The Ravens aren't. They're still figuring. I feel like they're still figuring themselves out. That Dallas game really didn't um, prove anything to me. It was just like, hey, Lamar versus NFC team, a team that doesn't play him very often, and Cowboys have been very bad at stopping the run, and they did that very well. We're going to see how I think Sean McDermott is going to do a very good job along the box, and you're gonna have to test. Lamar's going to have to make some throws, and obviously, I think the Bills are pretty solid at, secondary wise. I think defensive wise, I think they're going to have a good game plan uh, to stop. I mean, you can't stop them, 100% of the time, but I think they can get some stops here and there, and I think the Bills will take advantage as long as Josh Allen stays. He can go off script a little bit, but just don't go too crazy with it. Don't go too crazy.
I hate this pick because I am going the Bills, and the only reason I don't trust Lamar in this game, and I definitely don't trust Lamar when I've seen. I feel like this team just hasn't been that good. It looks like it's really struggling. This is a classic spot where the Bills let everybody down and lose this game, but
this would be a classic.
I do not think I have a very hard time seeing this iteration of the Ravens beating a Bills team that is just rolling right now. Like, again, it's the NFL. It happens. We saw the Saints, 40 points back to back. Who's stopping them? Best team. And then the Eagles told them to, fit 12 points. So, it happens. I get it. I will go the Bills here, though. All right, Monday Night Football. We got a doubleheader. Dolphins, Titans. Off the rip, I'm going Dolphins. I just don't trust Will Levis.
I'm going Dolphins as well, but this happened last year. If you don't remember, like this was kind of the start of the downfall last year. We lost that game on was it Thursday night or was it another Monday night game? I can't remember.
I actually don't.
It was a prime time
Monday.
It was a prime time game. Yeah, I remember that. And Will Levis came in and beat us. So I'm gonna pick the Dolphins here. I just it. I have no reason to trust Will Levis here. I'm hoping our defense can. We're gonna need our defense to get at least one or two scores, or at least put the offense into very very good field position. So all our offense have to do is get like 2 or 3 first downs, and then we punch it in. So I'm hoping our defense has been playing well. I'm hoping they keep that up, and they create some turnovers and put our offense in very good spots. So I'm gonna pick the Dolphins as well.
All right, Seahawks, Lions. This game is a really interesting one to me.
This is.
Who you got here, Christian?
I'm gonna pick the Lions here. It is gonna be interesting to see if I know everybody's probably been saying Seattle. They didn't play really that well against Miami, so it's gonna be interesting how they answer those criticisms. And then the Lions, they haven't been buttoned up as we thought they would be, but they are 2-1, so I can't be too mad at them. But I mean they have been they've even been saying they haven't been playing well, so it's gonna be interesting to see. But I'm expecting a good matchup. This is a good game. I like this matchup against these two teams. So, and I like Seattle. I think both these teams are going to make the playoffs. So this is a big playoff game here. No, it's early in the season, but yeah, Lions getting the win though.
I just have a hard time picturing the Lions losing back-to-back home games. I trust the Lions more. I think overall, this is something I wanted to say earlier that I haven't yet. I think it's a good time. We're still in kind of that preseason mode for a lot of these teams, right? Like,
true.
So we're getting into week 4, so I really think you're going to see, it's like that. Well, nobody's looked good. It's like, yeah, because we don't really do preseason anymore, and people are shaking rust off, and none of the teams are really gelling yet. So, I feel like we're really going to be getting these next 2-3 weeks is really when you're going to start to see, oh yeah, that team that we thought was good, yeah, they are good, and the Lions are one of those teams where like. Lions have looked off. What's going on with them? Yeah, give it a few weeks. Let them get their feet under them. The Lions are going to be one of the best teams in the league, and I think this is really where it starts for them. This is where we start to see the Lions becoming what we expect them to be. So I like the Lions here. All right, that's it. We're done. Tune in on either Sunday or Monday, depending on how we feel and if we feel like doing it. Probably Sunday because I'm probably unavailable Monday. But yeah, everybody. Tune in and listen to us react. Make your bets with my bets. Last year we made money, and I know it's tough right now. I know you're sitting there, you're betting me. You're like, man, Jake, I've lost money. What's going on? Just trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. We're gonna make you some money. You just gotta stick with me. We're gonna do it. So. Take it easy. Take it sleazy. We love you. Everybody wish Christin a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And yeah, take it easy, everybody. Have a great day.
You too.
Intro.